Hi, it's September 1st. So, let's talk temperature blanket. My name's Carolina. I crochet, I knit, I make clothing. I like to make stuff, basically. And in the very end of last year, I said I am going to make a temperature blanket. And I prepared it, I had the idea, I had all the plans, and I started doing it. And I have to say, it's working out. But things changed along the way. So I'm going to talk about that. If you subscribe to this channel and watch my videos, you might have noticed that I'm not posting too much. And that is just because I just kind of started doing things that took me way too long to like make and film and edit for this channel. And I also moved houses, so that took a little bit of like, time and work and lots of things like that. So that's why I haven't been posting, but I will be posting a lot. Do consider subscribing to this channel to get more videos about DIY, mostly knitting machine, crochet, sewing, things like that, making clothes, that's what we do. But I will be bringing lots of home DIYs. A lot of it catered around fabric and textiles, but within home renovation, because I have a few things that I'm doing for the new place. So let's go back to the temperature blanket. If you don't know, I have a video explaining my project for this temperature blanket, and basically I'm doing hexagons. It's a hexagon blanket. You might have seen it in a thumbnail, but I will show you in a couple of minutes. I decided initially I wanted to do 3 colors, so one for the low of the day, one for the high of the day, and the middle one, the main color of the hexagon, would be the color of the exact time that I was working on. I had never done a temperature blanket before, and I thought I will find some time throughout the day and I will stop and do my hexagon, like the temperature, the crochet for that day, and whatever time I'm working on this project will be the color for the main part of my hexagon. I gave myself a lot of tasks. So on top of that is already very time consuming for a daily thing. I initially really wanted to record it, so I will be doing right now. So as I'm like making the hexagon, I wanted to talk and film and post it on, either the TikToks and Instagrams or here on YouTube. I also had like a couple of booklets, like digital files with the hexagons that I was going to paint digitally, so that I had a digital like record of this crochet project that I'm doing. And it was a lot. So if you follow the channel, you will have seen that the recording every day and posting, let's say for like a month and a little bit of February. And then I stopped posting about it because it took me way too long to like make the videos, edit and post them. I didn't have much to say about this thing that I'm doing every single day. It wasn't relaxing. Like, I wanted to do this project that's this big blanket, it's year long, and I wasn't relaxing because I had to film it, and then I would have to like see how long I would take to edit, and it was a lot of time of my day that I was using for this project, and I couldn't do anything else. So I stopped recording, and then the digital files lasted really not a lot. But the blanket itself, the crochet part of the project, is going strong. So I have it here with me. Oh, by the way, I have a new box. This is a box that used to belong to my mom. She had photos on it, but we renovated the house and she didn't want this anymore. It didn't match with her new furniture, so she like got rid of it. But I got it because it's so pretty and it fits really well my stuff, and I actually filmed when I changed the boxes. Hey, I look a bit disheveled. I apologize. I came back from the gym and I didn't take a shower. I just came straight to filming. I was given this beautiful box. My mom used to store photos in it, and she had like 4 of these, but this is the prettiest. This is where I store my yarns for the temperature blanket. It's the same box as when I started the project, As you can see, it has been mended because it started falling apart and everything. But I just kept on it, using it. I took it to trips. She's a well-traveled box. So I'll just see them all. They all fit here, just like this. Yesterday, I did 10 hexes because I was so sick. I'm glad I'm better today. I was so sick and I was like, I'm just going to not be able to do anything. I might as well do this because I went for so long without doing them. I think I skipped 15 days. It's the longest I skipped. They do fit. Yay. They did fit, so I'm happy. You cannot see it, I'm sure. Ugh! They don't even move because they're so packed in. This is great. The temperature blanket thing doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing. You just have to do it. And from January 1st all the way till August 25th, I think, I had all of my yarn stored in a box. Yeah, I have the new box and this is my blanket. Oh my god, I am so happy with how it's going. Look at it. Oh my god, I'm so happy with it. Although there are a few things that changed from the beginning of the year since I started, and some things that I would do differently. So I will grab the colors that I need. This is what I'm using every single day. And then I am actually going to work on yesterday's hexagon. That's something that changed. I'm going to talk about it in just a second. Yesterday was the 31st, so today is the 1st of September. This is a September, I will write September update, but technically this is like August update. The low temperature was 13, which is this nice green color. High was 25 yesterday, so it was kind of hot. This one here is the 25. Something that has changed, the average, yes, the average for yesterday was 18 Celsius, which is this one. I use Celsius. I am not a Fahrenheit person. I don't understand. So it's Celsius. Ever since I got this box, I just have it like this, either laying on the bed or on a table or something. And I just grab the yarns from the UC, from the inside, and I just kind of work with the yarns here. I don't take them out. By this point, I pretty much memorized all the colors, like which color is which temperature, but I still have most of the labels. Each color had its own label. I'll take this one out just to show you, just like this. I did this in the very beginning before I started, and like I used it a lot. It was very good that I had the label on the skein, and that's actually something that I really recommend if you're starting a project next year, or if you want to do a historical blanket, anything like this. I would recommend writing somehow what the color represents. So in this case, I just got a piece of paper, I punched 2 holes, and then I got a string, I stringed it through, and then I kind of wobbled it in the back here. Can you see? I just kind of weaved it in a little bit so it's secure, and they stayed pretty well because I get yarn from the middle. I didn't weave it in too much. I just wove it in a few of the outside strands. So this is something that I really liked. The one thing that changed for my project, mainly like the bulk that changed, actually I changed midway through the project. So in technical terms, the blanket, it's kind of misinformed. I started doing the temperature of like whatever time of the day it was. So it made it for like a really random kind of color combinations. The low and the high and the middle would change and vary a lot. Like I don't look at a specific hexagon and I'm like, I know I did this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because of the colors. There would be days that I would need to skip, and I would look back on like a historical temperature for the day, and then I'd be like, what time do I pick? Do I pick the middle of the day? Do I pick like an average? Like what do I do? So after a little while, I decided to start using the average. So I started, instead of crocheting in the same day, instead of doing like today is the 1st of September, I will work on the hexagon for September 1st, I started doing the hexagon for the previous day. So today is September 1st, I am doing the hexagon for August 31st. And with that, I just started going on this website called timeanddate.com. And in this page, there is like a little thing for yesterday's weather. So there's like yesterday's weather, and then there's the low, the high, and the average. So I just started using that instead. So that changed, and I like it. I think it's a little bit more accurate because, you know, I'm using the average. It's like the day has passed, so we are sure of what the high, or the low, and what the average was. Because what was happening a lot was that 5 a.m. I would wake up, and first thing in the morning I would do this, and the weather wouldn't have passed, so it was like a prediction. So I would do, you know, a low, whatever, you know, it was early in the morning, so usually it was the lowest that it would be in the day. So the low would be, I don't know, like 17 Celsius. Temperature for the time that I would be crocheting, which would be still very early, would be like 18 Celsius. And then the high was a prediction because it wouldn't have passed. So like the high could be like, I don't know, 28 Celsius. But then the day would have passed, and the temperature didn't get that high. It only got to like 26, or the temperature got higher because it just did, and instead of a 28 it would have been a 32, but I don't know that, and I already did the hexagon and I wouldn't redo it. So it was getting like a little inaccurate, and a little, I don't know, it wasn't nice to do like that, and it was just easier for me to do the previous day. So that's what I started doing. Also, you know, it's the nature of like daily projects. Some days I didn't work on it. I think technically because I slept throughout most of the 1st of January because I was so hungover. But I woke up, I started working on it, and then I felt really sick, so I had to continue it in the next morning. But apart from that, I traveled in, I think, the end of February, and when I was traveling, I took my box with me. I took it with me. And I had time to do it because, you know, so you're traveling, sometimes you're just like chilling. But I just didn't feel like doing it. So that was the first time that I had to like batch make them, batch crochet them. And let me tell you, to do this, to like make more than like 4 in one go is, I really hated it. So batch creating is a little annoying. I would go to the time and date app, and then I just would see the highs, the low, and then I do the average myself. And I would, you know, sit down and crochet for a long time. The thing is, like, if you let them accumulate, it never stops because the days go by. So like I think the most I had to do at one point was 10 or 15. It was just now when I moved, and it was kind of annoying. I really don't like it. I like doing 1 a day, maximum 2 a day. So yeah, I didn't like the days that I skipped, but I just kept going, and I really wanted to have the blanket, so I just kept on, you know, batch creating them if I needed. The things that I did that I liked, and the things that I would take back, I would do differently. So first, I really liked that I did like a detachable shape for each day, and by that I just mean that I'm not doing the lines where you have to work off of the last one. So when the like original temperature blanket, you crochet 1 row, and then the next day you crochet another row, and then you crochet another row. So, you know, you're in May, you have like a little blanket with like 100 rolls to it, and sometimes you might want to take it to places to work on it because you know you have some free time, and you're just like inconvenient to take a whole blanket to work on like on the go. So I like that sometimes like I would go to like an office, or I would go to a doctor's appointment, anywhere that I knew that I would have to wait a little bit, or like I would have a little bit of free time. I could see like which colors I needed for the previous day hexagon, and I would just take, you know, either those skeins, because I take a pretty big bag with myself, so I would usually just take the whole 4 skeins that I needed, being the 3 colors, and then the white for the like outer layer. Or sometimes when I was taking like a smaller purse or something, I would take little pieces of the skein and just put them in this like little pouch, and just take the pouch with like the little bits of yarn that I would need for the day. And that was good because I didn't need to take all of the skeins, and I also didn't have to take the blanket itself with me. I could just make the shape, and then I could be back and then like just stitch it to the blanket. So that is something that, you know, I do intend on doing another temperature blanket next year, and that's something that I will take into considerations. I don't feel like I really don't want to do just like one continuous blanket with like that you have to take it all with you if you want to crochet on the go. I like to do separate shapes and put them on the blanket. I think this is really nice. I really like it. I would suggest it if you're doing a project like this. The things that I didn't love so much that I think I would like to change, first of all, the actual shape that I chose. African flower hexagon with very thin yarn and very thin needle. I knew that I took a little while to make these when I first started. Like, I did a sample, although I did think that I was going to get a little faster because it was my first time doing this exact type of hexagon. So I thought surely I'll make it a lot faster as I go. There's just, you know, a limit. And then I thought, you know, I just like working with the thin needle, so I'm not going to work with a bigger one because I like the thin needle. And I kind of regret that a little bit. I don't regret the needle. I truly like working with thin yarn. I live in a hot place. It's not really cold here too much. I like it. I like working with thin yarn and a thin needle. But this shape, the hexagon flower, is time consuming. I usually spend around half an hour every day doing this. Half an hour every day for one project. Like, I know it's going to be really beautiful and I'm glad I'm doing it. Like, if I'm going to do it again, I would choose a shape that just takes less time. Maybe it will be smaller, or I'll like give it in and change the yarn and hook size, or I'll do something different that doesn't have to be as big as a blanket or something. So yeah, I would plan to do something that just takes a lot less time. Maximum, I think, 20 minutes with like from start to like finish, folding the blanket and putting it back. Maximum 20 minutes. It's what I would strive for, what I would hope for a next blanket. And half an hour is like being generous. Sometimes I take over half an hour. It's never just like half an hour. It's within like 28 minutes to like 40 minutes if I'm too slow, if I'm just like chilling and I really want to make it faster. Like, that's just too much time. I think like overall in the beginning, as I said, I had too many hopes. I wanted to do too much. I wanted to do the digital file, and I wanted to film, and I wanted to do the blanket, and it was too much. So for me, I just overachieved way too high with the project. But the bulk, the actual blanket, which was the main thing that I wanted to do, is working out. So I'm glad that like I chose to like focus in the main thing, and I gave up on a few things like the filming and the digital files, but I didn't give up on the bulk of it. That was the actual blanket. Also, something that I really enjoyed is doing the extra color, that like the one color that like binds all of the colors. In my case, like I'm using the white to do the border after I do the temperatures of that day. And because I'm using these 3 colors, I really like that. I really think it was a good idea because it separates the days. Because like if I didn't do the white border, I think they would kind of merge together. If I choose to do another blanket with the 3 colors, I do think that having a separation color is a great idea. I really like it. Also, something that I don't love, the last thing that I don't love, is the colors that I chose. I mean, I don't hate them. It was my choice, and I chose it. I was like, I want to do pink and green. this is what I want. I want to be different. I like pink. I like green. Pink with green is my favorite color combo. It always is. It always is. It's not my favorite color. Pink is not my favorite color, and green's not my favorite color. But pink and green together is my favorite color combination. Like, I just love it. It's not that gradient effect that we're used to in temperature blankets. So I guess I'm just like not used to it. I don't know. Maybe I should try and do a temperature blanket with the original like rainbow colors. I needed a couple more greens. That's the thing. I didn't have, when I went to buy the yarns, there weren't enough options of green. This color that I used in this one is the 13. It's not just 13. It goes from 12 Celsius till 14 Celsius. So this color is for 3 temperatures, and I think that's just too much, because those temperatures I get them every day, and I needed to have 3 separate colors for these. I just needed like 4 more colors for the lower temperatures, and here as well in the high temperatures. This one is for 28, 29. This is 30 and 31, and this one is 32 Celsius. So I do feel like I needed a few more colors for it to have the effect that I feel like it needed. Maybe if I just had all of this like extra 6 colors, I would be happier with how it's looking. Also, I deeply, 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 deeply regret the color that I chose for 19, which is this one. It's not one color. It's 3, 4 colors together. And at the time I was choosing it, I was like, maybe that's not a good idea, but I'll do it anyway because it's within the color scheme, and I don't have enough colors, so I'll pick this one because it's an extra color. And I hate it. And 19 Celsius, it happens a lot. It's very occurring. It is 19 Celsius a lot. A lot of days we have 19 highs, sometimes we have 19 lows if it's a very hot day, and it is a common average. So I have quite a few hexagons with the 19 color that I chose for that temperature of 19 Celsius, and it's a bad choice. It was a very bad choice because it's not one color, it's a lot. And it is a cool effect. It is a nice yarn. It has its place. The place is not in a temperature blanket where the color represents a temperature, and it's all about like the block of color in different spaces. It was a bad choice. If you have the option to buy a multicolored yarn for the temperature blanket, do not. And you might be looking at the blanket and you might be thinking, well, that's obvious. Why would you choose that? And I don't know. I thought it was an okay idea at the time, and it clearly wasn't. Okay, I'm just finishing to attach it. I forgot to mention that I didn't do like the whole digital file thing, but I did annotate. Like every single day I annotate in the like notes app the temperatures that I'm using for just to check back in. Sometimes it was good when I had to like to skip a few days, so I would look back on the notes app and see, oh, the last date that I did was X day of the month, and these were the colors, and I just checked back in the last one that I did, be like, oh yeah, this is it. So it's good to keep track, to annotate either on paper or like on the notes app like I'm doing, the temperature that you're using. And I have that all annotated, so I can't possibly, as the year comes to an end and if I really, really desire to have a digital file of this temperature blanket, I kind of can do it. I can just like open the project file that I have and like color in the vectors of the hexagon. But I'm not sure I'm gonna do that, because why would I do it? Maybe I could just like to print it out or something. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that because I forgot to say. I'm finishing this up, and I will take a nice photo with the whole blanket, and this will be it for the video. I would like to say that I don't always take this long to make it. Like, I've been talking for a while and working on this for a while. It's just that I'm talking and I'm gathering my thoughts. I don't have a script or anything. So if you do want to see this blanket on sunlight or like the progress, how it goes every day, do follow me on Instagram. I post stories constantly of the progress, like working progresses for this hexagon blanket, as well as a bunch of other stuff that I work on. Also, I did start a couple of days ago doing like little daily videos for the hexagon. As I said, I wanted to do in the beginning of the year, and as I said, and that I just said that I gave up on. It's easier on TikTok, and I started doing it. I don't promise one every single day. Let me know if you watched this video while doing your temperature blanket, or if you watch this video doing any sort of crochet, knit, fiber art, craft, drawing project, like any artistic drawing project. Let me know if you did any of those watching this video, because I like to know. Let me know if you are doing a temperature blanket, or if you plan on doing one next year, and maybe you're starting to plan right now, because you know it might need to be an investment, obviously, because it's so many colors. Like if, or like, let me know any other kinds of like daily projects that might exist that have like related to color. Comment down below anything. How are your projects for this year? Did you manage to make like what you thought about? Like, did you give up on some? Did you pick some other ones? Are they on track? Let me know about your crafts, because I'm letting you know about mine. I would like to know about yours. This is yesterday's hexagon, and with this one I will have completed 8 months of temperature blanket. You will have seen the completed result with this in the video. I will put it again now. I think this is it. Just a little update, just a little crochet time with me. It's a little, you know, company for crochet. If you like fiber arts, crochet, knit in the knitting machine, fashion stuff, sewing, DIY stuff, drawing, I will be bringing a lot of drawing here in this page. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want. Spend some time with me whenever I post. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this video and any others that you watch. Like the video if you can, and share it with a friend that also crochets or does any craft. And that is it. I'll see you in the next one very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.